Hey guys, it's Chris here. Thanks so much for your patience on this episode. I was not able to release it last week just due to life and the craziness of getting ready for a newborn child. So thanks for your patience and bearing with me there. And I hope this episode will be worth the wait. Now let's go ahead and start by thanking our newest Patreon member. Huge thank you to Valerie Duffy. Thanks for your support and showing it by joining the Scaredy Cat tier. I really appreciate it. Now, if you're a fan of the podcast, go ahead and check out our Patreon. It's not only a great place to support the show, but also get access to our episodes completely ad-free, starting at just $1 a month. Check out our higher tiers for merchandise discount codes and more. Try it out, and you can cancel at any time. Visit patreon.com/unnervepodcast or click the link in the show notes. Your support really means a lot and helps this podcast keep going. So thanks so much for your support. Now on to the episode.
Something in my head just tells me to peek around the corner of the house, and it just looked directly at me. In that moment, I felt just dread, just like, oh no, pit of my stomach, I gotta go. I gotta run. This thing is gonna get me.
From HV Studio, this is Unnerved.
Welcome back to the Unnerved Podcast. It's where normal people share their abnormal stories, and if you enjoy true stories of the strange and terrifying, then you're in the right place. I'm your host, Chris Fricky. What if you saw something that you only knew to be fiction? Something that defies your reality? Would you keep it to yourself? Would you be fearful that people would not believe you? Or would you share that story with others, hoping to find some answers? In today's story, Seth shares how a typical evening in his backyard quickly became a terrifying experience with something beyond our normal reality. This is his story.
My name is Seth. I live in Akron, Ohio. I was getting home from work, and I'd get home late into the morning, 3, 4 in the morning most nights. That night I got home around 2 or 3 in the morning. I don't remember exactly the time. I get home, I park my work truck. I go in, let my dogs outside while I finish bringing my lunchbox and stuff in. As I set my stuff down, I go back outside with the dogs while they're doing their business. And I'm just standing there, and it just had like an eerie feeling in the air, if that makes any sense. So I let the dogs back in, and I'm just kind of standing there outside the door, just like feeling that vibe in the air. It's dark out. It's maybe a crescent moon or a new moon. I can't remember exactly, but it was dark. There's no natural light coming from the moon. And it's pretty dark in our backyard, so we don't really have lights on back here. Something in my head just tells me to peek around the corner of the house. I don't know what it was, just something spoke to me and said, hey, peek around the corner. So I just lean my head around the corner. I don't go all the way around. I just kind of peek my head around just so I could see around. And as I peek, I look, and I just see this figure standing in my neighbor's fenced-in portion of their yard. I'm looking at it, and it's bright, pale white. I don't want to say it was like glowing white, but it was illuminating almost. Like kind of like you shined a flashlight over like a reflective vest. And I'm staring at this thing, and it's not facing my neighbor's house, it's facing the woods behind their house, just standing there staring. As I'm looking at it, I can see, it's not wearing any clothes. I don't see any like genitalia or anything on it, but it looks like a fit male almost. It's the best way I can describe it. He's in shape like it's been on the move type of deal. From the side profile, I can kind of see like the shape of what looks like the nose. I couldn't see any mouth on it or anything. And I'm just sitting there staring at it. I'm like captivated almost. It felt like I stared at this thing for hours, just looking at it. And as I'm just looking at it, just like wondering, what in the hell am I looking at? It snapped its head and it just looked directly at me. It had blacker than black eyes on it. They were bigger than the average person's, but they weren't like the almond-shaped eyes you would see from like a gray alien or something. But they were big and black, and it just stared right at me. In that moment, I felt just dread, just like, oh no, pit of my stomach, I gotta go. I gotta run. I just booked it inside, and I remember I slammed the door behind me, and I just leaned up against the back of it, and I was just like, this thing is gonna get me. This thing is gonna come pull me through this door. It's not gonna even have to open it. I was just terrified. I just sat there for 40 minutes just with my back against the door like that, just waiting in pure panic and fear. Probably about a year or two goes by, and me and my wife were standing outside watching the kids play. I hadn't told anybody about this. I kept it to myself because I was like, this is crazy. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I saw. I don't know. And she's standing in that same exact spot that I was standing at when I peeked around the corner. She's like, I have this huge wave of like fear come over me right now. And I'm like, that's insane. And I told her the story. And she goes, you're kidding. I was like, no. And she's like, because I don't remember how long before that, but she had gone through that backyard talking with a neighbor. And she's like, I stood in that spot and I felt just dread standing in that spot where I pointed to where the entity was standing. And she's like, I felt that multiple times being there. And she had no, I never told her the story, but she's felt the exact same dread that I felt from it. Now, I don't feel it every single time I'm standing there, but I definitely get like a little like chill down my back when I'm standing there kind of like letting the dogs out or something. I get like a chill down my back, like, ooh, But like I've never felt that same dread before. And I hope I don't ever feel that same dread again, because that was dark. It was like I went to like a depressive state standing there, and once I got out of that spot, I was fine. I've had other experiences here, but nothing to that, like seeing something like that. I still can see it. Like I said, I can close my eyes, I can see it like it's right in front of me, happening right now.
Gotcha. Would you say the anatomy of it compared to a human man, would you say it was different? Like, were the legs longer, a shorter torso than a man? Like, anything that was like off skeletal structure wise?
Can't remember the legs. Like, might have been covered up by the grass maybe. I can't remember the legs, but I remember the body was longer. Like, its torso was definitely longer than like an average male. Like I said, it had no like genitalia on it. Like, the body looked smooth, like perfect skin. It looked like a human was standing there, and I was like looking at it like, huh. And then it like dawned on me like, well, this thing is illuminated and there's no light on it. That's what really made me go, huh, how am I seeing this so perfect? And then once it snapped to me and looked at me and I saw the big dark black eyes, I knew I am not looking at a human.
You said it has a nose, correct?
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a nose like ours, but I could see, when you look at that side profile, you can see it come out a little bit. It definitely has some type of nose of some sort.
Okay, and a mouth, lips? I
couldn't see a mouth on it. It very well could have just had like a slit or something. One of the best things I can describe it as, from what I've seen like picture-wise and movie-wise, you've seen the movie Prometheus?
No, I haven't.
The creature in the movie is a lot buffer than what I saw, but the way it looks, how it's like a pale white creature, no, hairless, is very similar to that. It's big, it's tall, it's human-like, but not quite human-like. That picture, once I saw that from the movie, I was like, oh, that is really, really similar to what I remember seeing, but not quite there. Just take off a couple pounds and it'd be pretty close. I've seen UFOs here, so that's why I lean more towards it was an alien of some sort, like a leader alien, like someone that's in charge. I wouldn't say a gray because obviously it didn't look like a gray, but something that is like above a gray almost, like someone that would be in charge of that, someone bigger, because this thing was probably like 6'5", 6'6". I mean, it was tall, and obviously grays are known to be shorter. So I knew it wasn't something like that. But now after posting in these Reddits and stuff, I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards the crawler theory. That's what it seems like it could have been. Looking at the sketches and stuff people posted, it's not quite there. Like, this thing was in much better shape than what those crawlers normally look like from people's sketches. It's very confusing. It makes my brain go in circles a little bit when I try to like nail down what I think it was.
So when you said it was dark, there's no yard light, anything, right? It's like the skin, the white, it's just like an unnatural kind of glow to it.
I had initially said to somebody that it kind of looked like, when you're on stage and you got the spotlight on you and your skin glows kind of when it's just you center stage. But that's almost not correct either. It's, and it's like a combination of like you have direct light on you, but also like the reflection of light from like I said, like a high vest or a high vis vest. It was just bright. Like I could see it clear as day, the white of it, the paleness of it, just bright.
And when it was standing there, when you were observing it before it turned to you, was it just standing there? Was it staring into the woods? Like, because there's a forest behind your house, is that correct?
Yeah, it was just standing there staring, like it was looking at something. Didn't have its hands were down by its side, or its arms were down by its side. It wasn't like it was holding on to the fence or anything. It was just standing there, just completely still. I couldn't even see it like swaying. Like, if you're standing there for a while, you start to sway a little bit. Like, it wasn't swaying. It was just perfectly still, like a statue. And then it wasn't until like it snapped its head and looked at me, and I was like, oh crap.
How far away, if you were to guess, like how far away from it were you?
30, 40 feet. I mean, I'm looking at this. I'm outside in my truck, and I'm looking at the spot right now. Like, I can see it from where I'm sitting right now. So it was maybe 30, 40 feet away from me. It wasn't far.
And did you get a chance to talk to your neighbor about it? Like, have they seen anything weird or anything similar?
I haven't. At the time, we were still fairly new to the roads, and like it's just like a no exit road. It's one way in, one way out. And we're still trying to, like, at that time, we were still trying to get integrated with the mini community that's here on the road. So I didn't want to be like, hey, you guys got creatures standing outside? Like, what's going on here? And now they travel a lot, so like I don't really get to see them all that often when I'm home to even talk to them. But I am interested to go back. Hey, have you guys ever felt anything weird here? Like anything odd, out of the ordinary? I don't want to come out right out and say, hey, I saw a white entity, like a pale white entity standing in your backyard. But I would love to know if they've ever felt anything odd. I would love to know.
Have you heard of similar experiences at all in your area? Have you looked into that at all?
I've tried to look up some stuff. There's not really, this area, it's kind of strange because we've had like Bigfoot sightings around here before. I've seen stuff, people talk about seeing dogmen around here. So there's definitely like paranormal happenings around here because, we're in that Appalachian hotbed area, with Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Kentucky. This is like a big hotbed area, especially with the Appalachian Mountains right here. So we definitely have our fair share of paranormal sightings and stuff, but I've never run across something where someone saw, this same type of entity standing outside. I kept this inside for years, and then my wife finally convinced me, like, hey, you should post that and see if anybody has, any. And then I'm getting people that are like, oh yeah, I've seen something similar. It's like, holy crap, I never thought I was like alone in seeing it, but it's just like to actually see other people come out and be like, oh yeah, I seen something 20 years ago that was similar and it hopped across the road. It's like, holy crap, like there's way more out there than, way more people have seen something similar. I definitely know we're not alone in this universe. I know there's more to life than we understand, especially life after death. I believe it deep in my soul. I've always have. But then when I saw that, it flipped. Like, not flipped in like I don't believe, obviously, because how could I lean that way? But like, just got even stronger of like, holy, like I cannot believe, like I have I seen something that is not of this world. Like, there's every part of my fiber of my being tells me that is not something from here. I don't know if it's like interdimensional, extra dimensional. I don't know that but I know it's not something that was born here. I don't know if it traveled out or if it like traveled dimensions or if it's from another layer of the fabric of our reality. I don't know. I've seen something that I shouldn't have seen. But that after that night, I've been like, you can tell me the craziest story and I'm probably going to believe you, because who am I to deny it? You know, like once you see something like that, like what, all it takes is one to be real. You know, like I said, I've had some UFO sightings outside my house, like way up in the air. That one that I seen here, and I seen it 4.5 hours away in Pennsylvania, the same exact thing. You know, I've seen it the same thing twice in 2 different states. You know, I've always believed there was more to it, but then after actually getting my eyes on it, there's nothing you could tell me that I probably wouldn't believe at this point. Everything like shattered that day. Like it was like I believed it, but I never actually seen it. So it's like, you know, it's kind of fun to believe in this, and then I seen it, and that wall, like that glass wall shattered. It's like, oh, you know, like it completely changed everything that night.
Right. What is reality, right?
Exactly. It's like, holy cow, there's just so much out there that we don't even know.
It's hard to discern exactly what Seth saw that night. After doing some research, I found similar experiences, and there are many types of humanoid creatures that could possibly match Seth's description of what he saw that night. Starting with the pale crawler. It's known to be a pale, hairless humanoid with long limbs that crawls unnaturally. It's silent, fast, and has large black eyes, and it's usually spotted lurking at night in a forest or near homes. The pale crawlers occur in many of the indigenous Algonquin tribe teachings and mythologies. However, most evidence points to the fact that the pale crawlers are seemingly an internet folklore invention. While similar creatures existed before the internet, like the Wendigo, pale crawler sightings and stories about encountering them started appearing for the first time in the early 2000s with the advent of the internet, starting with a creature called the Rake on Creepypasta. Now, I can't say crawlers don't exist, but perhaps they are just being misidentified as internet folklore. After all, how can we identify something that we don't understand? What Seth saw could be linked to several different humanoid creatures, such as the Skinwalker or Fleshgate. Seth also mentioned the possibility of it being a tall gray alien type humanoid. A tall gray is taller and more intelligent version of a typical gray alien, often seen as the leaders or overseers directing the smaller grays during abductions or other encounters. With this in mind, I recalled a story that reminded me of Seth's experience and could possibly be similar to what he saw that night. On April 30th, 2023, a Las Vegas family reported an entity in their backyard after seeing a mysterious streak of light in the sky. The family later described a large creature to responding officers.
The family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Sources telling the ADUSW investigators that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
911 emergency.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Someone calls 911 reporting two large figures in their backyard.
No, I'm still nervous right now.
The 8 News Now investigators obtaining another officer's video as he's sent to the Northwest Valley home.
I have butterflies, bro. Everyone saw a shooting star, then these people say there's aliens in their backyard.
By now, it's more than an hour after that bright light. Officers meeting up with the caller and his family.
What'd you see?
It was like a big creature.
A big creature?
Yeah, like around 10 feet tall.
I'm not going to BS you guys. One of my partners said they saw something fall out of the sky too, so that's why I'm kind of curious. Did you see anything land in your backyard, or?
They see like a big, that's what they say. They see like a big something with light.
What I saw right now, I do believe in it.
Police walk into the backyard to investigate, but Metro blacked out that part of the video because it's considered private property. What's clear, they're taking this call seriously.
Hey, this might sound like a really dumb question, but did you guys see anything fall out of the sky?
Asking others what they saw.
I would normally discount it as nothing. However, seeing as one of my partners said they saw it too, only reason I'm actually investigating it further.
That investigation turning up no concrete answers as of Wednesday. Whatever or whoever fell into that yard, long gone within minutes.
Oh, hey, if those 9-foot beings come back, don't call us, all right? Deal with it yourself. I ain't dealing with that.
So yeah, this is quite weird, Brian was saying as we're watching this story. Now, we've been in contact with the family in that video, and as you heard in that 911 call, they seem very reasonable and honestly quite scared as you heard them in the call. No, they don't seem impaired in any way, and whatever crashed by the time that police got there was gone, but sources say that there's really no dispute. Something was in their yard. Exactly what? We do not know.
I mean, it's so interesting. So, like, the Metro officer sees something, the neighbors see something. I mean, so what could it be?
Well, we know that there are obviously a lot of military bases around this area. George Knapp covers a lot of that stuff for us on the 80s Now Investigators. We're showing you drone video from above that area. And we know, of course, Creech not far away, Nellis Air Force Base not far. I checked in with them. They say they are not involved at all, and we are waiting to hear from the Pentagon as well.
And you talked to these people. It seemed completely legitimate to you. And do you have any personal thoughts on maybe what it was?
Right. So it seems from talking to our sources that something happened. There was obviously some flash in the sky. A lot of people saw it that night on the night of April 30th, early in the morning on May 1st. Did that exact thing land in their yard? I don't know. But these people said they saw some SUV circling the area. Could this have been some piece of equipment that malfunctioned? Maybe they saw something and then someone came. I can't believe we're talking about this.
Right.
Someone came and retrieved it from the backyard in the SUV. We don't know. This all comes as a former high-level intelligence officer, a veteran, was on News Nation talking about how there is a program where the government collects some unidentified objects. So this might be that. We just don't know.
Not only did what happened in Vegas not stay in Vegas, it circled the known universe. The frenzy grew when reports surfaced that unknown authorities had afterwards placed cameras around this family's home. The family was driven into hiding, off the grid, out of sight, underground. But 10 months later, the mystery lives on, and looky-loos and alien hunters are still on the prowl. The family posted no trespassing signs, but break-ins have been reported frequently here, as recently as last week at this home. Tonight, a News Nation exclusive, the teenager who made that 911 call is finally speaking publicly at length and laying out exactly what he saw that night and what has happened since. Our national correspondent, Alex Capriello, joins me with that live from Las Vegas tonight. So, Alex, it's really compelling, with the advent of a year passing almost, that they've had a chance to digest what it is they've been through. They have kept quiet. They are not looking for attention. And yet now you're getting information, especially from this 15-year-old or the 17-year-old, that's pretty alarming.
Yeah, and I've found out from speaking to Angel Kenmore that life just really has not been all that easy for the past year since they saw that 10-foot tall creature in their backyard right here behind me. For him, he says that he's plain and simple traumatized by it all. He says he can't sleep at night. He's become slightly paranoid. He cries at night, trying to make sense, heads or tails, of what exactly he saw that night, playing it back over and over in his head. You can imagine the torment that's going through in his head. But to this day, none of the family has a very good explanation about what exactly they saw that night. But to their credit, they've stayed pretty consistent about the facts and the details. I really grilled him about that, trying to get him to remember as much as he possibly could about that night. Here's a portion of our conversation. What do you remember about that night? What do you remember seeing?
Start again, I guess. We were in the backyard fixing a truck, and then out of nowhere we just see a big light fall down and basically crash in the backyard. And moments after, like a couple of seconds after, I saw the big giant creature in front of me. The alien, whatever you guys want to call it. The alien, demon, whatever you guys want to call it.
What do you believe it is?
A demon.
A demon?
Yeah.
So maybe that's changed, that once you thought it was an alien, now you believe it was a demon.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is, only God knows what it was. But I'm thinking it's like something bad, not a good thing.
Was it moving? Was it doing?
Yes, it was moving. You could see like he was breathing, like he was like pissed off. Like he wanted to do something.
And he was looking at you and your brother?
He was looking at me, yeah.
Did he say anything?
Mm-mm. I remember he was growling like a dog, like he was growling.
When did it end?
As soon as I closed my eyes, I guess. I don't know. I think I was praying or something like that, and they just let me go. That's when I went inside, and I saw my dad. I mean, I saw it too.
It felt like it had a control of your body?
Oh yeah, I couldn't move. Yeah.
You were paralyzed at the sight of this thing.
Yeah, I couldn't move.
And you were looking at it for 30 or so seconds, and then all of a sudden it was gone?
Yeah. That was pretty creepy.
A lot of people think that that's just hard to believe.
That, like I said again, they can think whatever they want.
What do you say to the people who believe that your family just made this whole thing up to try to get attention?
They can believe whatever they want, I'm not doing it for if I did it for fame, I would be on YouTube and stuff like that, doing more videos, but I don't care, guys. I just went on TikTok and YouTube, made my story. That's pretty much it. I made no money off this. I want people to know that I made no money off this. I don't need money. That's pretty much it. They can believe whatever they want.
I bet you hope it doesn't happen to anybody.
Oh, no, hopefully not, no. I hope God, no. Really bad experience. Really traumatizing.
And Ashley, I don't know what your impression of him was, but when I was speaking to him personally, I was really struck by how confident and authentic he was about his memories of that night. There's a lot of people obviously out there in the world that would make up ghost stories in order to chase any sort of clout or fame. But to me, Angel came across as somebody who truly believed that he saw something that night in that backyard right here behind me.
Yeah, Alex, he didn't really seem to have canned answers either. So if this was all a big ruse, he's either a really, really good actor, I mean, Meryl Streep quality, and, he certainly didn't script it, didn't seem to plan out answers, at the grasp. I do want to ask you about the family. This is the 17-year-old finally talking at length about his experience. And boy, did he ever add some details there, that what he saw seemed to be angry and breathing heavily with growling, looking right at his brother and him, and that he felt frozen, which is an account we've heard from other people who have felt that they've seen something out of this world before, that they've been frozen and unable to move. What about the family? Does the family back him?
Yeah, the family does, although they're much less willing to go public about it. I spoke to his mom, who basically said that she has no interest in speaking about it because she just feels differently than Angel. She feels like nobody in the world is going to believe her. Angel, on the other hand, while certainly not trying to publish his case widespread, he feels the need to share it because he wants the world to know what he saw, and also he wants the world to know that his family is doing okay and moving forward. In general, the family wants the spotlight off of them. Take, for example, all these no trespassing signs. There's at least 4 of them. But at this time, they are just basically saying, look, we don't really want to talk about it anymore, but we still stand behind the things that we saw that night.
For now, all we can do is speculate. about what Seth saw in his backyard. But perhaps in time, other encounters with similar creatures will leave us more clues as to what was lurking that night. Thanks for listening to Unnerved. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with your friends and leave a review wherever you get your podcast. And if you want to see photos related to each episode, be sure to follow our Instagram at unnervedpodcast. And for ad-free episodes and bonus content, visit patreon.com/unnervedpodcast. And until next time, take care.